All right, guys, beard advice series time. Are you ready for another one? Stay tuned. Hey guys, Brian Haywood here. Welcome back to my Beards and Banjos YouTube channel where we discuss tips and tricks for your beards. We do some product reviews and unboxings, and we have a beard advice series where you guys can send in a couple of pictures to me to that email address you see below. I take a look at it for a couple of weeks to get featured in your own beard advice series video like we're doing today. And today we've got Ben. If you'll take a look at Ben there, he's been growing out his beard. I love the waviness to it. It's not super curly, but if you take a look at that waviness to it, it gives some texture. If you ask Ben, he may not love that waviness to it all the time, but I think that shape you've got right now looks really good. And actually he's kind of rocking what I suggest for several guys on some of these videos, and that is the tighter on the sides. So you got tighter on the sides, and then so that emphasizes what's in the front. That helps you emphasize get your length in the middle of your beard, kind of elongates this part of your chin, right? So everything I see right there is kind of round. But we're going to talk about a couple of options for you, just food for thought, because I really do like the style he's got, and that's what he mentioned. He said he didn't really have anything in particular in mind for me to focus on, but just whatever I could come up with. So I want to kind of go think about maybe doing something different, growing it out, figuring out a way to alleviate some of that roundness. And there's kind of three things that I thought of that you could do. So the first one is to think about this back corner back here. So it's kind of going the opposite of what I've told some other guys. Some other guys had it here, and I told them to tighten all that up and you get a different focus. But Ben's already got that, so we'll kind of go the other direction. So if you want to grow out what's in this area right here, that'll start to fill this out, and then you can work on this corner back here. So instead of having it round, you let this fill in a little bit, and then you can work on making it more of an angle. Okay, so if you wanted to do that, maybe over your next two beard trims or so, you kind of just keep what you've got in the front, keep that length. That's a good length that should be kind of easy to work with. And then you kind of let this other stuff kind of creep down, and you can control the angle of that. So you get it a little bit flatter here instead of coming up and rounding up. And then you can work on having this corner to see if you like it or not. It's a different look. It kind of gives you more of that jawline, a little more chiseled jawline, if you will, instead of everything being round. Because with the short hair that you got on top, everything's kind of round up there anyway. So maybe something to kind of go against that. You already have the rectangular frame glasses, which I like. Kind of goes against the roundness there as well. So, but you can always experiment with your glasses too. I'm finding out that they've got apps for your phone where you can just, that'll put different kind of glasses on you, so which is kind of interesting. I might do that for some people in the future that have them already. That'd be fun to play around with. So that was one place you can kind of create a line. So instead of this being round, you kind of get a flat line here. You can work on this corner to get that angle, more of a chiseled jaw line. That's one place. The other place would be kind of easy for you because now you've got some pretty good length here, and that is instead of having this be a little more rounded, you could just flatten this off a little bit. So you could make it a little more of a square shape here anyway. So have it a little flatter instead of round. That'll give you another little line there to think about playing around with. And then the other place you can create a little bit more of an angular look or a little bit more straight lines would be with your cheek area. So on your cheek line, you've got kind of rounded there. So you got a couple options. I don't know how high your cheek line grows. So you can always play around with that, let it grow out. I put this picture in here. This guy kind of has a similar look to you, but his cheek line is more natural, kind of let everything grow out a little bit. Excuse me. So I'm not sure how high yours goes on that, but even if it doesn't go that high, you can start to create lines in it anyway. So you can take what you have, and instead of having it arc, okay, you could actually kind of make a little right angle there. So you can make it a little more linear, if you will. And you can see this, and this is kind of an extreme case because the guy's got a really short beard, but I always notice that his cheek line, he comes down with it quite a bit, and it's got kind of an L shape. So you can see what I'm talking about. This guy is an actor. He's on the show, what show is he on? SWAT on CBS, by the way, one of my favorite shows, so check that out. But anyway, you can see he's got a nice manicured looking beard, but his cheek line comes down and is flatter across here. So just a couple places there that Ben can think about if he wanted to change up anything, start to have a little bit more of a squared off look, a little bit more, a few more lines instead of curves, just to kind of alleviate some of the roundness there, something to play around with. And that's really all I've got for you, Ben. Let me know what you think Ben should do there. He's got enough growth to grow it out further if he wants. The other thing I noticed is another thing that's contributing to that's because your sides are so tight that it's making this part look more round. So you could think about it this way, not taper down quite as far. So we think about wherever the widest point is there and only taper above that, and then that would let this area fill out a little bit more. You could have a little bit more there to work with, but you might find there's going to be some growing pains because you have to go through the awkward phase of, okay, it's not long enough to lay down very good, and you have to start working on your round brush and your the hair dryer and try and straighten in brushes and all that kind of stuff, but something to play around with as you go through your journey. All right, so a little food for thought for Ben. If you have any suggestions for him, put them down in the comments, and as always, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm putting together pictures from the first 25 episodes, so I'm still contacting a few guys there, got some things trickling in, so hopefully over the next week or so we'll do a little update, show you what some of the guys are looking like today. All right, so thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.